Hello everyone, welcome back to iRead'em. As usual, we have another episode of ProRevenge today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell icon for more videos. This will also really help my channel out. Thanks.
Write me up for simple mistakes to get me fired. Prepare to get fired. I told someone this story and they directed me here to TLDR at the bottom. Anyways, private security was at my field until a few years ago. When I say security, I don't mean mall cops, but high-end, armed trained security. I spent a few years working a job in another city away from home, but the company went under, so I decided to move back home. I found a security job online. It was simply entry level, basically sitting behind a computer. You were security for the building, but monitored security for other sites the company owned across 3 states, like small repair places, factories, places where they stored vehicles, etc. So I submitted my resume. The next day, a guy calls and sets up an interview. Awesome, because I needed to find work fast. Went to the interview, conducted by a woman I called Jane. She was a supervisor and the guy I talked to was her boss. Jane immediately told me I was way overqualified, which I found strange, but okay. Interview went fine and I left. A few hours later she called and said I was hired and set up training days. Now I won't go through that, just wanted to give background, so let's go to the good parts. She always gave me a cold shoulder. Her boss found out I have all the qualifications, licensing and training to be armed, so he had me come in armed. Nothing fancy, handgun, 3 magazines and handcuffs. She would always make comments about how everyone should be armed. A few of my co-workers I wouldn't trust with a water gun, and she should decide who is armed. Just little comments to get under my skin. Then one day it happened. Okay, so far we just had the introduction to the story and initial thoughts. Well, there's not much I can say from this really. She seems a bit annoying, but you always get people like that in various jobs, I guess. I was working the front desk / reception that day, and she sends me a message over Messenger telling me that she needs to see me. I go back, she drags me into the side office with a write-up form. Apparently when I added door access to visitor's badge, I added the door to the gym in the basement. A mistake, but not life-threatening. A week later, I didn't sign my timesheet, another for not filing in my form correctly. All minor things everyone has done or did. The end came about 9 months ago into the job, when I looked at the new timesheet. I was paired with a new officer who had been there a month, only he was listed as a shift supervisor. Confused, I took it to her second in command. I'll call him Bob, a great guy. He told me that he brought it up, that I had the experience and seniority to be promoted, and she basically told him to frick off, it was her choice. Anyways, that got me mad, so I started planning my revenge. I don't normally do this, but I knew one more right up. I would be fired no matter how minor the infraction was. Good thing is, during the night shift, there are only 2 people, and we can't see each other's computers, so I started thinking. I remembered about 4 months prior her car broke down in the parking lot across the street. Instead of having it towed, Jane's father decided to fix it there. No big deal. Only during that time, Jane was bringing her husband back into the security office. This was a huge deal. The office took scanning at 3 doors and a keypad to enter. In the whole building, only the security staff and 1 cleaning guy had access. It was the HQ for the company, and not even the executives had access. From our computers, we could open any door, turn off any camera or alarm, and open any gate in any building that the company owned. So it was a big deal because we had the keys to the kingdom. That was a huge freaking violation, so I hatched my plan. Well, I'm surprised that she didn't get caught then, because if it was such a secure place and a secure company, then you would have thought that there'd be people checking, people didn't do anything bad like that. So that's actually quite surprising. Under the excuse of having a smoke, I went out to reception and copied the visitor log from those days. I then went back and accessed the video feeds. You could go back a year for all video feeds and took screenshots of her husband entering the doors and office. The office itself had no camera, as well as with timestamps, him leaving, and the fact he never swiped in, which followed someone into a door. Even if they hold it open, you must scan your card. I logged into my private email and sent it to another email, knowing they don't log what you do on the computers. I got home and sent all the pictures and log copies and everything to not only her boss, but his boss, whose job it was investigating breaches and theft. I also included every dirty trick she pulled playing favouritisms, etc. Well, yeah, I was saying earlier, okay, so they do keep recordings for a year then, so, okay, I wonder where this is going to go then. The fallout didn't take long. 2 days later, a Friday, I went in for afternoon shift and Bob was at Jane's workstation. I looked confused and said Jane was suspended for a week and that Monday I had to come in and speak with her boss and boss's boss, but I'd be paid for it. Also, everyone was interviewed. It was great, rumours were flying and I was laughing on the inside. Okay, interview day. I go in and they started questioning me. They knew I worked while she brought her husband in and asked me. I spilled everything after acting scared and getting assurances it won't be confidential and I wouldn't be punished. I didn't tell them I sent it, but they asked everyone. I left out some things in the email and added some things that weren't. I didn't want to be labelled as a snitch. I went up for an hour and then I left. Next day, an email was waiting. Jane was fired. Bob was in charge until a replacement is added. I had a long talk with Bob that day. Turns out Jane was scared of me because I was more qualified for her job than she was, and I knew I was her boss's golden boy. She was afraid, rightfully so it turned out, that I might take her job, and admitted to him she wanted me gone. A fact she told them was in his interview, also that she didn't want to hire me, but her boss made her. Turns out her boss was aware of things and was looking for an excuse to fire her, but it had to be big. Well, he got his revenge in the end, but yeah, this person's going to be out of a job then. I bet she would also get a pretty bad, awful write-up if she's going into similar jobs again, seeing that that was a huge security breach because the amount of bad things that her husband could have done. Yeah, I'd be surprised if she got hired in any similar jobs after this. Jane had been working at the department for 10 years. It was her first real job and security was all she knew. They blacklisted her, which means unless a company was really desperate, she wouldn't get a security job anywhere in the state. Icing on the cake. Well, there we go, so she won't get a job again, but if she was working there for 10 years, I mean, that's pretty bad for her too. I mean, she's gonna have a hard time finding a job and things, but then again, she was pretty horrible to that guy who was just trying to do his job, so I know you want to know. Yes, I was offered her job. No, I didn't take it. I told them that Bob deserved it more. He did. I'd be happy being a shift supervisor. So that's what I stayed in for the next 2 years until I left. I was also thinking that too. I was wondering, well, why didn't he go for her job then? But it was actually nice that he gave it to the other person too, because it was probably a higher paid job too. Maybe, I don't know. Thanks for sticking with me. TLDR, boss was scared of me replacing her, tried to get me fired for petty infractions, told her boss about major infractions. So yeah, that's the end of another ProRevenge story. Was it deserved? If she was lying about this one guy was doing, then yes, but then you've also got to feel bad about how it's going to be difficult for her to find a job again. But then again, it was a really high security job and it was a massive security breach.
Whoa guys, did you know that we now have official merch for this channel? We now have an amazing mug that you can order today. It's very high quality and features the minimalistic channel logo on the front, and on the back is everyone's favourite subreddit r/ProRevenge. You can now order one today with the link in the description. It is available in a wide selection of countries, so please check it out. So who would not want to drink out of this amazing mug in the morning for your tea or coffee? And also with each sale you're already helping me out. With each sale a percentage goes to me, which will support me to continue to make more daily Reddit videos, and hopefully then in the future I'll be able to make multiple videos a day for you all to enjoy. So yeah, the link is in the description, please check them out, and if you decide to purchase one I'll be really grateful. Thanks. Thank you everyone for watching to the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please like, comment, subscribe and click the bell icon for more videos. Thanks. I also have lots of other ProRevenge videos on my channel, some of which should be on the screen right now, so please consider checking them out. Thanks and bye.